Hello, my name is Mary Lou and I have another fan fold for you for this week tutorial. It's another fan fold. It's very simple to make, but you always get some stunning results. So we're gonna be doing, we're using the Friendly Hello. It's a photopolymer stamp set from the Sale A Bration. You can get this one for free together with the designer paper. With a qualifying order. The paper is stunning, so that's what we're gonna be using today. And then at the end of the video I will show you some different samples that I have created, so you can see how versatile this fold is. It's a very, very nice paper. All right, so let's begin. I'm gonna give you some measurements. We put this aside for now. Okay, so for this fold we need a base card that is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4, fold in half. We need a piece of black that is 4 inches by 5 3/4. We need a piece of DSP that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. We need another small piece that is 2 inches by 5 7/8. We need some designer paper for scrap so we can stamp some flowers. And then we need 3 pieces for the front. A piece of white, which is 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. We need a piece of cardstock fuchsia that is 2 5/8 by 4. Now I have used the stitch frame, but you can, if you don't have, I use this one here, but if you don't have this set, you can always cut it. So the measurements is 2 5/8 by 4. And then a piece of black that is 2 13/16 by 4 1/8. And of course, one envelope. So that are the pieces that we need to make this card. Okay, first thing, let me get rid of all these safety pins. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna score the card. So we already have folded in half. So then we get the front half and we're going to score at 2 1/8, which is one little line just past the 2, and we're going to score it, and that's it. That's all there is to do this fold. Fold it, then we use the bone folder, make sure that you make it nice and crisp, and that's your fold. Super simple. Okay, so now we just, the only thing you need to do now is just decorate. So to decorate, what I've done is I got a piece of 2 by 5 5/8, and I'm gonna glue it right here on the front. So that's step number 1. Okay, so we glue that there. So that's the front. To the base of the card, we're going to put the black one first. So we got the black in here, making sure that you have an even edge all the way around. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of stamping. So we're gonna stamp. This is gonna go here on the base, but we're gonna do a little bit of stamping here, and we're going to stamp some of the flowers at the front here. The flowers that I'm gonna be using are those. So let's prep that. Get a block and some black ink. And at the front, I use 3 flowers, so I'm gonna stamp 4. That's one set, and that's 2 sets. So I let that dry, and then this is gonna be the front of the card. And because I have that over here, I thought it'd be nice if we can stamp the flowers on this side. So when you open, it's like a little surprise. So let's do some on this side. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So we're gonna put them aside so they can dry. And I'm going to now do the front. This is the pieces that we need for the front. The black and then the fuchsia. So I may glue this one on now. Glue the fuchsia on to the black, leaving an even margin all the way around. Whoop. So that's that. And now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping here. So I'm going to be using the Hello Friend. So let's get the Hello Friend. And I'm going to stamp it in black. Now I may put this underneath so I can see better. Okay. Try my best to keep it straight. Hold for a few seconds. Because it's photopolymer, make sure that it is beautiful. So that's that. And now over here I'm gonna add some flowers, so I'm gonna do a little bit of stamping in here. So I'm gonna grab a couple of the leaves. So I'm gonna use the leaves and this little stem. So I'm gonna be using this little thing here. They look like little buds, and I'm gonna use this solid leaf. So I get a block and another block, and I'm gonna use the Granny Apple Green for the leaf. Now the flowers are gonna be positioned here, so I'm going to put one leaf here and another leaf there. So that's done. And these little buds, I'm gonna make them black. I'm using Memento for this. So I put some there and some here. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And now, what else do we need? Okay, now I'm going to do a couple of little dots in here, but I wait for the dots, I think, until I fussy cut the flowers, so we know where to do the little dots. So there's the flowers that I'm going to fussy cut with the scissors. So I'm going to fussy cut this and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and I fussy cut the flowers. There's the flowers all nicely done. And now we're going to attach some of the flowers in here. So what I did with this, where did I put my scissors? Oh, here they are. Lost my scissors for a second. All right, this one here, I get my bone folder and I just gently fold the leaves a little bit like that. Now you gotta be careful because this is paper, but it looks really nice when you stamp on designer paper. There's no coloring. It's wonderful. So now I'm gonna just put a little bit of glue in the center here, and I glue them here, just like that. And then there's two flowers in here, but what I'm going to do, I'm gonna very carefully, I wanted to do this on screen so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna cut this one from here. So I have like a full flower and this one here. I will use this one for the envelope, but this one, again, I fold the petals just a little bit like that. But on this one, I'm going to use a dimensional. You get a dimensional here. I use 2 mini dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to glue this one. How are we gonna put this one? Like this. So now this one is popping up and the other ones are not. And now this one here, I'm gonna do a couple of little dots with the fuchsia. There's nice little dots in here, just to put a little bit extra color on the front, which I think is gonna look really pretty. So we get a bit of the fuchsia here, and I just put some little dots, a little bit more. There, just like that. And then on here, I'm gonna put dimensionals, and I'm going to pop this with dimensionals and put it on the back of. Just a few, okay. Take the backings off. And we put it on here. Nice and even. Okay, and that's done. Okay, now let's finish this part here. Now I think that we need to add to these flowers these little buds, because then it sort of looks a bit more like the front. So let's get some more mental, and we put one there. That's it. Some nice soft black in there. And that's that. Let's get rid of some of this. Clean up my desk. And now we're going to add this to the card. So pretty, this paper. I mean, look at the bag. Oh, I feel so sorry covering it up. But for this card, this one looks better. Okay, so I have left even all the way around. So now we're gonna attach this part to here. Okay, so we need to put glue on this side of the card. Running out of glue. So I just attach it here. Yeah, and there's the card. Very simple, but it's just very nice technique. Now with this other flower, what I'm going to do is decorate the envelope, but because you can see it's a bit not so good in there, I'm gonna cut it there, and I'm gonna attach it to the base of here. So I just put a bit of glue there, open my envelope, put it on the edge, in the middle. That's not the middle, low. Just eyeball it. You know how I am. I eyeball everything, and then I cut whatever is the excess on here because it's rounded edge. And there's the back of the envelope decorated, and the card. Very simple fold, but I think it's just an easy fold when you want a special card for someone. Now I got some more samples for you. Now this is another card that I did, and I use the, what stamp sets did I use? Let me show you. I used the flowering tulips for this one, and I also use the designer paper. So I stamp again on designer paper inside and on here, and I did the flowers. So that's another card. So that's that one. Then I make this sample here. Now for this sample, I use the Shaded Summer, and on this one I use cardstock. I stamp on the cardstock, and then instead of on the edge I done the stamping on here. So that's another way of doing this fall. And then the next one, I use the tulips again, but this time I use the dies, and I use the designer paper for here. And I cut some of the designer paper, put it on the side and here, and that's another look for the same fall. So you can see it's the same fall, but you can have multiple looks. So I hope you enjoy this fall, and if you need any of the supplies, please visit my online store. I'm gonna down the video here, I'm gonna tell you all the details of the ID, the product numbers. So if you need to, please, I would love it if you can shop with me. Okay, see you on the next video. Bye.